Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Today we are going to be reacting to the Meet Mad Maggie trailer. I don't usually react to these things, but I feel like we haven't really taken a really good look at how her abilities work. So we're going to jump into this and see a closer look about, just exactly what happens, especially her ultimate. I'm really curious about that. So let's jump into this.
A cutthroat warlord and self-proclaimed freedom fighter.
That's a very cool skydiver mode.
Across the Outlands has landed her in
Okay, sorry. First thing I noticed, it has two. She has two tacticals, so that makes me think immediately she has two charges, quite like Bangalore's and Fuses. We'll see though.
Has landed her in the Apex Games.
Syndicate's gonna regret letting Mad Maggie off her leash.
Now, will she face justice, or will Maggie turn the tables on her would-be executioners?
You know what they say? Mess with the bull and I'll trample you to death.
When there's blood in the water, Maggie will sense it. She's able to track down those she...
So we saw this passive temporarily highlight enemies you've damaged. So it looks kind of similar to the Fuse highlight. I wonder how long it lasts for. It doesn't really say.
He's hurt to finish the job.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Says kia ora, by the way.
And don't bother trying to run. Maggie moves faster when carrying a shotgun, allowing her to close the distance on any fleeing opponents.
What are you legends made of?
Alright. So the speed isn't necessarily super fast. My guess is you can probably move with shotguns the same speed at which you can move whilst holstered. So you're basically going to be able to just outrun anyone that has that gun out. Could be wrong. I'd be very surprised if it's much of a speed boost past the sort of standard standard holstered running speed. But we'll have to see. I'd be very shocked if it was higher than that.
Those who try to hide behind cover will soon discover nowhere is safe.
Ah, okay, that's really interesting. So they've basically gone and created an ability that's a super counter to Gibby Domes, which is really big because Gibby's so popular, especially in high level play. I'm curious to see how Maggie will be in high level play because of this. I don't know. Interesting use of it as well. You can see it here. So you can fire it at quite a long distance.
Maggie's riot drill allows her to burn out her enemies.
Ah. And I'm not sure if it stops revives or if you can continue the revive or what.
Killing and drilling.
But nothing embodies Maggie's love of wanton destruction like
I see it.
ultimate. Get the hell out of the way. A powerful wrecking ball that leaves death and speed boosts in its wake.
Speed boosts.
Salvo will be free.
Ah.
The Syndicate will be dead.
No way.
Legends, the most feared villain in the Outlands is at your door. You must band together to control this madness, or she's sure to bring the games.
That's cool.
The Apex Games, brought to you by the Syndicate. And
Okay.
Pharmaceuticals.
Interesting. Okay, so let's just take a closer look at this ult. It doesn't give you mini jump pads like I first thought. It gives you speed boosting pads. If you walk into the pads, you can walk faster, essentially. So what that means is you're just going to be able to hunt down players. Pair that with the passive movement speed. Maggie is going to be a nightmare to fight against if you're trying to escape fights. She seems to be really good against defensive characters as well. She could be really good as a counter to Gibby. It really honestly depends on how effective the tactical is. How much damage is it going to do? How long of a delay is there before it kicks in? And is it possible to just sort of step out of the way? Watch this, right? So she shoots it into the spot, and then there's sort of a delay, and then the fire comes out. Right, and what is the radius like? Is it possible they could just go to the other side of the dome and heal, or is it going to blanket the entire dome area? I think that's something that's really important to know, and that's going to really determine whether it's strong or sort of just kind of okay. Once again, the ultimate, it damages people when it hits them. So let's see what happens here. The first person animation for this is really cool as well. So it bounces. Seems like it's going to be quite hard to actually hit anybody with it. It detonates near enemies.
That leaves death and speed.
Wait, it chases enemies? Or is that just like... Look at this. It may just be because of the way it bounced, but it bounces on here.
Powerful wrecking ball that leaves death
This bounce here kind of sent it flying that way.
and
It really looks like it's chasing down that Octane, but I'm going to assume that it just kind of bounces off of things, and it's a super sort of high skill shot ability. Hitting someone with this long range is possible, but going to be hard. How much damage it does, I don't know, but the interesting thing is, if you bounce it right, you're going to just be able to keep following those movement speed boost pads and catch up on players, which I think is really cool.
One day, Selva.
Ah, look at that. It actually sends Sia flying. Does he get knocked or what?
wake.
One day,
You see that? Look at him.
Selva will be free. And the next
You don't really know. Like, because of the trailer, we don't really know. But it did showcase in the launch trailer that Maggie knocked down Fuse. There's no way they make this a one-shot kill. So I assume it just does a certain amount of damage, but it literally throws you through the air, which is crazy. And once again, it really depends on how fast you go. Like, how fast do the speed movement pads really move you? Are you going to be able to track down an Octane? I don't know. My guess is it's not going to be as fast as Octane's Stim, which is a 40% movement speed buff whilst sprinting. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of crazy. Pair that with the fact that she's got increased movement speed with shotguns out as well. I really don't think it makes much sense for her to be able to move faster with shotguns out than when she is holstered. So my guess, it's like a 299, I think 299 velocity for when you're holstered and 260 velocity for when you have a weapon out. So normally Legends could run with a shotgun out at 260 and maybe she can run at 299. So she's only really going to chase down people who are using their weapon, holding their weapon. Or maybe they may just budget a tiny bit above holstered speed. But then in that case, it literally just makes sense to always have a shotgun with this character because you're going to run faster than when you don't have a weapon equipped. So I don't know how they're going to deal with that. And once again, does the ultimate movement speed stack with her passive? Does the ultimate do a significant amount of damage? How easy is it to bounce around walls? Does it just catch up to players? Like, there's so many variables that will determine if she's going to be good or not. But there's a really interesting kit. I really do think this is probably one of the most unique kits because it has some level of utility and recon and team play, but it also just has a bunch of crazy fast movement speed, which I think is fun. And I think that if the passive's too strong, she's going to be really annoying. Pair that with the new Peacekeeper hop-up as well, the kinetic loader. There's a video on screen right now to explain all of that stuff that's coming. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think about Mad Maggie. I guess we only will be able to know when the season launches. Thanks for watching, everyone. Cheerio.